Welcome and thank you for tuning in. Virginia Tech football followed up its huge win over UNC to open the season with a decent but not completely convincing 35-14 win over Middle Tennessee State back in Lane Stadium. The Hokies took care of business after a lackluster first half in which the Hokies should have absolutely destroyed the visitors, but Middle Tennessee was able to hang around. Virginia Tech offensively saw a total team effort see out this victory. Braxton Burmeister had under 150 yards passing and one touchdown pass, but hey, he didn't make any mistakes. Tayvion Robinson looked potentially electrifying at times. He had one punt return that I thought would go all the way. Every time he has the ball in his hands, he's kind of getting to that point where there's always that chance that he'll break it open and go to the house. He had a touchdown catch as well, but probably the best offensive performance today came from Raheem Blackshear, who had 2 touchdown runs. He is really showing that he can get it done both running between the tackles and cutting it to the outside. So Blackshear, probably the best running back at this point, although Jalen Holston also had a very nice touchdown run of his own. I went into the season thinking that Keyshawn King was the most talented running back of the group. He still might be, but it's going to be challenging for King to get carries when Holston and Blackshear are already getting off to a great start. Now, I can only complain about the offensive play calling so much when the Hokies win, especially by 3 touchdowns. But look, in the middle of the game, Brad Cornelsen continued to run the ball when the Hokies should have thrown it. Burmeister only had, 146 yards passing because he wasn't given the chance to air it out. So I have nothing to hold against Burmeister there. There were situations, of course, where the Hokies would run the ball on 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 is not a running down. That is definitely a passing down. And even when they threw the ball, it was a lot of checkdowns, a lot of short routes. I really want to see Burmeister air it out. He certainly has the arm to do so. Thank heaven Burmeister's hit to the head was not too serious. He had to come out momentarily. But my biggest worry, of course, at this point is the status of James Mitchell. He got hurt in the first half. I don't think he came back onto the field afterwards. I read on Twitter that he got on a stationary bike at one point on the sidelines, which I suppose is a good sign. But James Mitchell is absolutely critical to the success of Virginia Tech's offense. The moment in which I really thought the Hokies were going to pull away and they had this game under control was Jermaine Waller's very timely interception, because after that, Blackshear scored the touchdown that put the Hokies up by 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. It was at that point that I thought, okay, the Hokies have this. But this should have definitely been a game that was put to bed in the first half. All in all, a win's a win. And Virginia Tech will certainly need to execute better offensively and defensively, especially on 3rd down, when they take on West Virginia next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you've watched for this long, you might as well subscribe to my channel.